Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Toastmasters Leadership Institute session today. We hope you all are as excited to attend as we are to present it tonight. My name is Nandita, and I'm from Chennai Phoenix Toastmasters Club, and I will be MC for tonight for this event. Today's event is one of many that we have planned for you, but it is equally important, just like all of you are, and we value your presence. Thank you for joining. As you know, elections are very important in any democracy, and so it is important in Toastmasters. Members get an opportunity to be involved in the process of nomination, to be able to vote, and they also get an equal chance for taking up responsibilities, for demonstrating their leadership skills. And why is that? It is for betterment, for refinement, for the community and for themselves. My dear friends, change, no matter dynamic, isn't easy to always embrace, isn't it? It is how we transition that decides smoothly how leadership will function. And how much should we influence? Does success belong to the leaders and only leaders? From a member to an ex-com, what is the difference? So today's session of Toastmasters Leadership Institute is also about knowing the difference from voting to e-voting and from leadership to e-leadership. Is online transition more complicated? We will come to know shortly. I would like to introduce to you our first guest trainer, and he is none other than DTM Rahul Shankar, a well-known Toastmaster. Even though his journey in this field with us is only for 8 years, but he has been inspiration to many. Please welcome with me the former division governor, who is currently the president of India's first Tamil-English bilingual club. His session is going to enlighten us about how to conduct club elections. So I invite DTM Rahul Shankar to take over. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Good evening to everyone present here. Malay Vanakkam. As introduced, I am Toastmaster Rahul Shankar. For those of you who do not know me, it's okay. I am yet another humble Toastmaster like all of you, serving in a club XCOM role currently for my club. So let me share my screen with all of you. Okay, so today we are going to see, as introduced, how to effectively conduct a club election. Most of our clubs here, I think, have already conducted elections in the past for perhaps this term or many terms. We have a lot of senior members here. Many of you would have conducted elections for your clubs. You would have been chairs for elections. You would have stood for elections at the club level, at the district level. And there are many members here who are perhaps doing it for the first time, and you want to know what is the effective way in conducting an election. So I'm going to take you through the process or the steps that are given by Toastmasters International as guidelines to conducting an effective club contest. And there are some rules attached to it as well. So we'll go through these one by one. And ultimately, as Ralph C. Smedley said, we are an organization dedicated to the individual. So we are all working in this together. This is not like a government election where you need to form coalitions or you need to have opposition parties. It doesn't matter. We are all here to learn, and we are just going to elect our own fellow members to lead us for the next 6 months or 1 year. And the reason we do it is to build our leadership as well as a camaraderie between our members. So if Toastmasters is where leaders are made, The election is a process which enables this to happen. I'm not sure how many of us here go through our club leadership handbook, but there is a section in our handbook starting on page 53, if I'm not wrong. And this page says there are certain club events that need to take place. And the first and most important club event that needs to take place is your club officer election. Of course, the second is your club contest. So let's go through the steps today as to what we need to do to effectively conduct a club election. So usually, I don't know, I've been a part of a community club. I've also been a part of a corporate club for many years. And we see sometimes a small difference in the way elections are conducted. But today I want to try to encourage members from all clubs who are present here. This time when you're having the elections, let's try to follow this in a uniform manner across all our clubs to the best way possible. So when should the election be conducted? Please make sure it's announced and at least the process starts 1 month before the end of the term, which means this year, please target to have it in November. If you go through the club leadership handbook, every club should have a club calendar and there are timelines provided to each club. Now, Toastmaster International says the club officer election timeline should take place in November. That is the guideline that Toastmaster provides us. So why don't we try it? We have another month to go for it. So why don't we all clubs try to run this in November? So what are the processes involved in conducting a club election? In my opinion, and going by the guidelines, there are three things: the nomination process, the election process, and the installation process. So I've broadly classified them into three parts: nomination, election, and installation. We will go through each of these processes to understand what should take place in the entire election process. So 1 month before the term comes to an end, please make sure that the nomination and the election process are decided and are conducted so that when the term comes to an end, the installation process happens in a smooth manner. I won't get into the transition. We have our district director who will be taking us through that. So let me take you through the process involved. So 1 month before the term ends, executive committee, club excom, president, secretary, please have your excom meeting, decide on the date, and be ready to conduct the elections. Okay, what should we do next? What is the nomination process? So that according to the guidelines from Toastmasters International and my humble opinion, please conduct the election nomination process at least 2 weeks before the election. By at least 2 weeks before the election, I mean the nomination should be completed 2 weeks before the election. What should happen is the president of the club should appoint a club leadership committee. They also go by different names. You have a nomination committee, nomination, election committee. So the president should appoint a club leadership committee. Who is supposed to be in this leadership committee? It should have 3 members, at least 3 members. The immediate past president should be appointed as the chair of this committee, and any 2 active members can be part of this committee. So currently, whoever is serving as the immediate past president of your club can be the chair of this nomination committee. In case you are only serving as the immediate past president and you are also currently the president of the club, you are welcome to appoint another member as the immediate past president, as the chair of this nomination committee. So 3-member nomination committee, you can pick the immediate past president as the chair, and any 2 active members can be part of this committee. Now, once this committee is picked, please ensure to announce this at your club business session. This should have happened 2 weeks before the contest, the election. Please make sure that all your members are aware that a nomination committee has been appointed and the elections are announced, and make sure you publish this to your members. A lot of clubs have WhatsApp groups now. We send everything through WhatsApp. So announce after the club business session takes place during your club meeting, announce the members of the committee and publish the same in your club WhatsApp group, also on the official channel of your club, which could be the email or messages that you send your members. Make sure that the communication reaches your entire club roster. Everybody in your club who is a paid member must be aware that club elections are taking place. This is really important. So this is the first phase of your nomination. You need to appoint a committee, and this has to be announced at the club business session. So ideally, it's a good thing if your club nominee committee doesn't consist of people who are standing for any post in the elections. In case they are standing for, try to identify people who are not. And it's a good practice to involve your immediate past president as the chair and appointing any two members. I think a lot of clubs I have noticed do not have this practice of appointing a nomination committee that takes us through the election process. So let's try it from this time in case you have not already done it. So the committee is ready. What do they have to do? Now members can now start giving their nominations to this committee. Who can give a nomination? Any paid member of the club is allowed to send in their nomination to the committee. You have the different posts available for the club, and a member can submit their nomination for anything. So usually we send an email or you send a WhatsApp message to the nomination committee saying, I am interested in so-and-so posts. And the nomination committee can consider all nominations coming in that are given by paid members of the club. In case the committee does not receive enough nominations for certain posts, the committee can always reach out and ask members if they're interested. An important point to note here, please don't force anyone to be part of the nominated people standing for election. I have been there. I have been forced. I have also forced. But a good practice is to get members who are willing to take part in the election process. So ask your members, encourage members to come and stand for elections and encourage them to be part of the nominated list. It's a good practice to make sure that members give their consent before you add their names to the nomination list. So make sure that as many roles are filled as possible. So the nomination committee can take a look, at least president, any VP role, secretary, or a single person for the time being can be both secretary and treasurer. So you need to have at least these roles filled when you are going for the elections. So nomination, so we picked the nomination committee. Members have started giving in their nominations for the various roles. All these processes have started happening 2 weeks before the election date. So if you are a member of the nomination committee, of course, you will receive various types of members nominating. Please make sure that you do inform presidents that they cannot serve more than 1 full year's term. If I am the president of my club now, for the 6-month term, I cannot serve. I can stand again for president only one more time. But when the entire 1-year term is complete, I cannot repeat my term again. If you are an annual club, a club that meets bi-monthly and your term is 1 year, then the president can serve only one continuous full year term. So the presidents cannot nominate again for their role. So it is the duty of the nomination committee to make sure that they check this as well. So the nominations have started coming in, the roles have started filling in. What happens next? At the club business meeting 1 week before the election, the nomination committee has to present their report to the club. So the committee needs to present a report to the club informing the members as to who are all the candidates who nominated for the various posts and submit this recommendation to the members. So this has to happen, clearly happen. And again, something I'm stressing, don't add somebody's name just because a role is empty. Don't put their name and say it's okay, we'll take care. Please make sure that they've consented to be part of the list of candidates before you add their names. So at the club business meeting or a special meeting 1 week before the contest, sorry, before the election, please make sure that the committee presents the report to all members that this is the list of candidates for the various posts. So this is something, again, we've quite not followed in various of our clubs. In case the nomination committee does not provide the list to members prior to the election date, then no nominated list is valid. Anybody who wants to stand for election has to stand from the floor on the day of the elections. Again, something I have not noticed many of our clubs following, but again, an opportunity for all of us to also try this out. So we can be a strict club that tries to follow a stipulated democratic process. In case the nomination committee does not find enough members, or if they do not even read the list to the members. So this happens when you keep a business meeting, but the nomination committee is not yet ready with the list. Then their list stands void, and on the day of the election, anybody who wishes to stand for any election post has to do so on the spot, and we cannot consider a nominated list. You cannot read out any list on the day of the election. So this is an important rule that we should follow. Make sure you appoint a nomination committee. Make sure the committee reads out the list to all members 1 week before the contest at your business meeting of your club. Business meeting in the sense, during your regular club meeting, before the educational part of your meeting starts or after the educational part of your meeting ends, ensure that the list is read. Once the list is read, please make sure you send out the list to all your members. Like how the VP, the secretary sends out the minutes of the meeting, please also, the nomination committee should also inform the members that the list has been read and this is the list of candidates for this post. And please make sure this happens 1 week before the election. So the candidates list is out, everybody is ready. It is the day of the election. So who conducts the election? It could either be the chair of the nomination committee, which is, or the chair of the nomination committee can appoint a member to conduct the elections. What happens on the day of the elections? During the club business meeting, the president or presiding officer calls the business meeting to order. The secretary of the meeting should announce the quorum. So what is quorum? You need to have a bare minimum number of active members present. And in Toastmasters language, quorum means majority of members, which is a minimum of 50% of all active members of the club plus one. So you need to have a default majority that is present in order to conduct the elections. If not, you will have to postpone your elections to another date when you have quorum. Otherwise, the votes that members have cast will not stand valid because there is no majority in the club. Once the quorum is announced and the election chair takes over and you can begin the election process. It is a good practice for the election chair to explain the activities that took place in the last 2 weeks. You can talk about the committee being appointed, what happened last week, and what is going to happen today. A quick 1 or 2 minutes to announce what is the process. Please make sure that you prepare ballot sheets for voting, for distributing to all members. Now we have moved to the electronic way of using Zoom or Teams. So we have a lot of online voting formats and systems. We have a polling in Zoom. I'm a familiar user of Zoom, so I can talk about polling, which can be a secret ballot. So prepare the Zoom master or the host of the club. Please prepare a way to present ballots. Please note all ballots have to be secret ballots. So this is another rule in Toastmasters. During the club elections, you cannot have open voting. It has to be secret voting. Every member should have the right to have secret votes casted. By secret, I mean only you should know who you voted for. Nobody else should know who you voted for. I think Zoom polling or Microsoft polling, or I think Google Forms is easy for you to help you do it in an anonymous way. So please make sure a facility is available for secret casting of votes. This has to happen for all the 7 posts. Appoint 2, usually in the club, you appoint 2 members to be tally counters for the votes. Here again, you can appoint a Zoom master or somebody who helps the election chair in counting the votes. So this is the overall preparation that needs to be done before the election for the club to conduct the election. What next? Next comes the actual process of the election. Now, you are the person conducting the elections, or you have appointed a member. You have to read out the nomination for the, so let's go with each and every role. The role has to go out in the same order I presented in the beginning of the presentation. You start with president and you end with sergeant at arms. So read out the nomination for the officer role in the alphabetical order. For example, if it is president, read out the names of all the candidates in alphabetical order. Ask for seconding or consent for the candidates. You need, everything has, since this is a business meeting, you have to get seconds for the nominations that come in. Once you have read out the list of nominated candidates, please ask for further nominations from the floor. The nomination, the club election chair has to announce, are there any further nominations for the post of president or whichever post they're talking about? You have to announce this. In case somebody says, yes, I want to stand, this person has to be seconded for the role. Somebody has to second this person, that yes, I second this person standing for the role. Again, after that is over, you have to again ask for further nominations. Until it is clear that there are no more nominations for a certain post, the election chair has to keep calling for nominations. Once it is down, please formally announce that the nominations are closed for this particular role, after which you cannot take any more nominations. Once the nominations are closed, if there is more than one candidate, you have to invite each candidate to give a 2-minute speech in the alphabetical order. There's no preferential order. This guy is a DTM or this guy is a senior member. Let's let him talk first. Nothing. It's very formal process. On the alphabetical order of their first name and last name, please invite each nominated candidate or person who nominated on the floor in the alphabetical order. Ask them to deliver a 2-minute speech. Please make sure the speech is strictly timed. No candidate gets more than 2 minutes. Sometimes you'll see somebody speaking for more than 2 minutes. Please start an applause. If you are the election chair, start applauding and encourage the audience to applaud so that the 2 minutes ends. Why do we do this? Because we want to be fair to all the candidates. Nobody gets more than 2 minutes to address the audience. Once all the candidates have spoken, if there are multiple candidates who are standing for a certain post, ask all the members to cast their vote for this post. By all members, I mean all members of the club who are present should vote. If there is only one candidate for a certain post, you can have a formal vote. You can ask the secretary to cast a unanimous vote in favor of this particular candidate. So in case of multiple candidates, ask the members to cast their vote, tally their votes. In case of a tie, you have to conduct the process again. You need to dissolve all the votes and you need to conduct this again. Now, in the past, we've had many instances where we sometimes bring in the secretary to vote. There's a lot of ambiguity there, but Toastmasters International has clearly said everybody votes. If there is a tie, dissolve, start the voting process again. So that has been clearly stated this time in the club leadership handbook that everybody should vote, and in case of a tie, a fresh vote should take place. No other forms of tie breaking is allowed. There's no tossing the coin or I don't know, picking their names from a lucky draw. Nothing like that is allowed. Just cancel the votes and start it again. Once the voting is complete, announce the winner for this candidature. In case it is a single vote, you just directly announce the winner after the secretary casts the vote. Follow the same process for all the 7 posts. Don't change the process. if you are doing this entire process for president, please make sure that you follow the same process for all the 7 candidates. Every single role in the club is important, and every single role deserves the same amount of a democratic process in your club. So you have selected all 7 candidates. What do we do next? The most important thing that has to be done, please upload the list of the elected candidates to the Club Central by logging in. Usually it's a good thing if the secretary does it, because the secretary is the bookkeeper of the club. Log in to Club Central. I've just taken a screenshot of my club's Club Central. Go to Club Officer Assignments and put in their names from the drop down, select their names and enter the dates. If you are a semi-annual club, enter the 6-month period. And if you're an annual club, please enter the entire 1-year period. So once you save it, you will get a confirmation mail, and that's it. The election process is complete. So you have formally elected members to your club. What happens next after you have elected members to your club? A very, very important, interesting question everybody has on their mind. What if there are vacancies? I have elected, only 5 people stood that day, 2 posts are vacant. Like I mentioned in the beginning, there are 3 posts that mandatorily need to be filled. President, any 1 VP post, and either secretary or secretary treasurer. So apart from these posts, if any of the other posts stand vacant, please make sure to conduct an election again for these posts. Don't just go and update it on the list. We used to have this habit where we will message somebody and ask, are you interested? Okay, thanks. And you just go and update it in Club Central. Please don't do that. Please keep a business session where you announce that this candidature post is vacant. Please conduct an election formally again in the subsequent week for that post. Now, I have an important thing to tell you, something that Toastmasters International also stresses in the club handbook. How long can you allow a post to be vacant? Let's say now our clubs are all going to have their election in this November and December, and from January, the new term starts. What if VPPR and treasurer are still not filled? So Toastmasters, and you are afraid that if it's not filled and then somebody wants to come and take that role, they'll not get the credit for that role. So Toastmasters International has now come up with, has been having this rule for quite some time, and I want to refresh that to all our memories. Please ensure to conduct the election for the vacant posts within the first month. As soon as you conduct the election in the first month, please make sure you upload your details of this candidate within the first month. Why? Toastmasters International will automatically designate the first day of the month as the day the term starts. So if you have a vacant post in your club and you conduct an election for that post in January itself, then that member's term will be deemed to start from the 1st of January. So that member need not worry, they'll not get credit. They will get full credit for their 6 months. But if you miss out on that and you conduct your election only in February or March, then the term will be deemed to start from the 1st of February or from the 1st of March. Usually the first day of the month in which you elected that candidate. So my humble request to all clubs is, please make sure you elect any vacant posts within the first 1 month of your club. Please make sure you don't postpone it. Why? We are all doing service to our clubs. Why not we get all our members to get recognition for the roles that they perform? So let's make sure that all our members get credit for their roles. So let's do it in the first month. What if you're replacing someone? So Toastmasters International says, if you replace a member, if somebody is leaving your organization or if somebody is leaving your club and you're replacing their role, then the first date of the new leader is the last date of the other leader. So here it's a little tricky to get recognition for them unless you make sure you do it on the first day of the term, or otherwise it's a little difficult because Toastmasters International says the last day on which the previous leader who's vacating the post serve the club will be the first day for the new person. You will be able to update it in such a manner in Club Central, because there's already an entry in Club Central from the beginning of the term. So that is the only catch here. So please make sure any vacancies are filled within the first 1 month and updated in Club Central as well. So good, you've conducted your elections, you've finished filling all your vacant posts. What next? The most interesting and awaited procedure, which is the officer's installation. You can appoint a member to conduct the installation. It could be a senior member in your club. It could be your area director, division director, anybody whom you feel could be fit to conduct this process. Please appoint them, announce it to your members, and recognize the officers. The club leadership handbook has a script you need to follow when you are appointing officers. Please follow the script. If you give pins to your members, please do so. If you want to give any recognition to them, please do so. Please make sure all your members are present. I like this process because it's not just the 7 officers, it's the entire club that takes an oath together that we'll all serve the club together. So let's do that together. And at the end of the day, enjoy your leadership role. You've come through an election process, your members trust you. So let's take our clubs forward, and let's do so in a democratic and formal way. So that's it with the process. These are the references I used. I did not come up with anything on my own. I just referred to the club leadership handbook and the club business questionnaire that is there in the Toastmasters website. You're welcome to go through it. The entire process is highlighted there step by step. So you can take a look at it and you can conduct it. My best wishes to all members to conduct effective club elections. I think we've all started conducting effective business meetings in our clubs. So let this be the next step. Let us also start conducting a uniform, effective election process in all our clubs so that both we as well as the members feel confident that Toastmasters is where leaders are made. Thank you. You're welcome to ask any questions.
May I ask, anyone has any questions? Please put it up.
Yeah, you can ping it on the chat, or you can ask me directly as well.
Rahul, as part of the business session where we need to announce the election committee announces the roles, right?
Yes.
You mentioned about publishing the roles.
Yeah.
So my understanding, like we publish all the 7 roles, right? Like, is there an option you're not publishing? But it was confusing a little bit there.
Yeah, you have to publish all 7 roles.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, when you announce the elections, you have to specifically say what are the 7 roles that people can nominate for. This is 2 weeks before the club election. When you're telling people that these are the roles available for you to nominate, all 7 need to be published. Once the committee finishes getting the nominations from the members, then you have to publish what are the nominations that came in for the different roles. So here you may not always have nominations for all 7 roles. People may have nominated for president, people may have nominated for secretary, people may have nominated for VP, but the other roles may be vacant. So you have to leave them. If nobody nominates for a role, you have to leave it vacant. But president, any one vice president role and the secretary role do have nominations.
We have a question
Yes.
from Manikandan from TCS Maitri.
Yeah.
Is there any term limit for other roles, just like president role? For example, 1 year.
Yeah. So by default, Toastmasters International stresses only the president does not hold the role for more than 1 year. There is no rule for other roles from what I saw in the club leadership handbook and the FAQ in Toastmasters that I've gone through, but what we recommend is somebody not continue more than 1 full year. It is a recommendation from me, but there is no rule as such. Only the rule applies only to the president, because the club executive leader should not be the same person, because it becomes undemocratic. Whereas the other roles, you can continue in case you do not find suitable candidates, but please make sure you rotate the roles and don't continue for more than 1 year. But yes, by rules, it's only for the president where the 1 year rule applies. So the next question is, what are the eligibility criteria for different roles? Please be a paid member, that's all. As long as you're a paid member of the club, there are no other rules that stop you from nominating yourself for the elections or standing from the floor for the elections. Yes, next question. I'm a transferred member. Yes, once you transfer out of the club, the role will be open for members of the previous club. They will have to conduct an election to fill that role. You cannot continue. If you are a dual member, then yes, you can continue. But if you're a transferred member, if I am president of my club now and I transferred out, my position will be vacant and an election has to be conducted to fill that role.
Thank you, Rahul.
Thank
I
you.
say we will take the questions offline. Please ping your questions and we will take it up and reply to you
Sure,
as
thank you.
fast as we can.
I will
Thank
share
you,
the
Rahul.
presentation to the TLI team. You can take a look at the presentation as well. Thank you, Toastmaster Madita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. Very aptly said that we are all here to learn and to elect our fellow Toastmasters to lead us for a fixed term. And this takes us to the second part of this session tonight. Praveen Mani, who is the past area director and a star division director. He is the CEO of WinBytes Technology, an engineer by profession, and in his industry, he's been there for 10 years. A Toastmasters at heart for last 7 years. He loves to take responsibility, tougher roles, and we are keen to know what he has to say to us about handling the transition process. Please welcome Toastmaster Praveen Mani. Over to you, Praveen.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nandita. And that was a brilliant session by Rahul. I wish I had listened to the session when I was a president back then 8 years ago. But unfortunately, we never had such a beautiful session back then. Thank you, Rahul, for conducting the session in a much better way. Thank you so much. First thing first, I hope each and every one of you, your family, your friends, all of them are doing well and staying safe. That's the first and foremost thing that I want to check with you all. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, when I had a casual call with one of the district officer, he said he has transacted COVID. And I felt so bad because despite being in COVID, he was actually serving the fraternity, and that shows the amount of the contribution all the district officers are serving. So my humble gratitude and thanks to all the district officer out there, the TLA team doing a fantastic job, the program quality team and entire district officers team, they're doing a great job, and it's all for the clubs and the members out there. And no wonder they're doing this much, because today I can see there are about 185 participants live for this session. Hope this is not for the golden gavel points. I just want to make it clear here. But it's so good to see so many participants live in the session, and you are the ones who are giving us the energy to put as much as possible from our side. So we will definitely continue working hard for our district, striving hard for our members. As long as we get this kind of positive energy from you, I think nothing can stop us, be it pandemic situation or anything that comes across our way. We will just go ahead with our vision that we have set for the district. With that note, I would like to say we have about 20 minutes to wrap up the session for 8 o'clock. I know IPL match is going on in parallel. Some of you are busy watching that IPL match. No wonder we have so many people who are turned off their videos. If you could turn on your videos, nothing like it, because that's how I get my energy out of the session. So if you can, then it's amazing. Or if you feel that you want to continue watching your IPL match, at least give it a 20 minutes break, because after that we can get back and watch IPL match together, right? Thank you so much. Many of you started turning on the videos, because that gives the energy to all of us. I always turn the gallery mode, never turn the speaker mode. You can use that gallery mode. You can see the people around you smiling, and you can look at the faces and talk. It becomes more of interactive session. So thank you so much for turning on your videos. So we have a session now to talk about transition, right? I mean, when was the last time you heard this word transition? You can unmute yourself and say when was the last time you heard this word transition, or if you feel more comfortable typing in the chat box, you can put it in the chat box as well. When was the last time you heard the word transition? Now, don't tell me you heard this word in Toastmasters, and please don't tell me you heard it today. I know all of us have come across the word transition many a times in our lives, but when was the last time you heard this word transition?
Now during the pandemic.
Okay. In which occasion?
Like how our lives have
Okay.
got into the transition period.
Oh, great. Okay. Lives getting to transition period. Okay. Office project. How come both of them have said the same word without any mismatch into that? Okay. Office project, transition my profession. Almost every day. I'm just referring to the chat that I'm receiving here. Almost every day officially someone is leaving. Transfer to another project. I think all of us will be able to relate if I say the word
online schooling.
Transition. Sorry, Sudarshan, you're saying something?
Online schooling.
Online schooling, we're seeing the transition happening. Okay. I think all of us will agree that at least once we would have heard the word transition in our work life, isn't it? Because that's the place where people come in, people leave, and we heard this word transition quite often. See, that is the importance of the word transition and the transition as such whenever it comes to an organization. A Toastmaster has been an organization for the last 95 years plus, and it's only because we've been so successful doing transition. Now, this transition doesn't apply only to the club officers, but also apply for all the district officers as well. To me, if I want to define what transition is all about, I would say as a district officer, I'll be happy if the term is successful, but I'll be even more happier if the next term is more successful than this term. And if you believe in this kind of mindset, I think transition is your cup of tea. You all know what transition is all about. There's this famous quote which I always believe in my life. It says, the purpose of life, or even to that matter, even leadership for that matter, is nothing but planting trees under whose shade you never expect to sit. To me, that is leadership, right? You try to plant trees where you look at the future. Toastmasters International says exactly the same. Toastmasters International says the main purpose of transition is to preserve the knowledge base, right? It is to preserve the knowledge base. That is where transition comes into picture. Most often we do a mistake in our lives, that is reinventing the wheel. You would have come across in a club, you would try to do something which your past leaders would have done already, and they wouldn't have got the desired result. So that is where Toastmasters ensures every club officer or district officer should go through a transition phase. At the district level, let me tell you this, we have a dedicated calendar where we have to go through this transition phase. I need to sit with the past district director and get the knowledge from him. The incoming PQD should get the knowledge transfer from me, who I served as the PQD in the previous term. So the transition happens across Toastmasters International at all the hierarchy level. For a club to be successful, transition is very, very important. Now, to make a successful transition, I believe in this. You have to be an MCA graduate. Now, MCA here doesn't refer to Masters of Computer Application. Today, we have a little different acronym to the word, to the acronym MCA. Now, I'll tell you why I stress so much on this. You go out today's world, you go on a road on a motorbike or in a car, you see some of them actually will be violating the traffic rules. No government in the world says you can go and violate the traffic rules. Despite government insists on every member to follow the traffic rule, still you see people violating the traffic rules. Still, though we have all the presentations shared by Rahul available in Toastmasters International, you still see some kind of violation happening. Not always you have the perfect transition. That is why the first letter M refers to a mindset. The MCA, the word letter M refers here to the mindset. Before even we talk about what is required in the part of the transition process, the most important thing is the mindset. As a club officer, we should have the mindset that our future term should be more successful than what we have done in the current term. As long as we have that kind of mindset, the transition will happen smoothly. Now, when we talk about mindset, it is not only the responsibility of the outgoing officer, it is also the responsibility of the incoming officer. Only when both of them have this mindset of working on a transition, that's when the magic happens. But still, even when one person is so much caring about the transition, even then the magic will still happen, because that is the power of being approachable. I'll talk about the approachability later point in time, but let's start with the word mindset. Now, how many of times that you started your new term? I know many of you here would be a club officer. How many times did you sit with your previous club officer and sat through them to understand what they have done in the past? What worked for them? What did not work for them? Have you all done that at least once? Anybody has done that?
Yes, we have say again done that, and we also have say again manual in then place.
Right. What manual, Abhishek?
So for each role, what and all roles they have to do. So we had kept us again internal say again document wherein we had told how, like for the say again secretary role. So we had what is going to be the again minutes again format we are going to have, and there's again agenda format, and when there's again a second excom meetings and all need to be then conducted. So all of that, each then again second particular role then player had then shared his thoughts and documented that off. And each time whenever say a new means say election takes place, that say again document is then being changed.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. By the way, which part of the month do you do this transition?
So normally once the election takes place, be it June end or July first or second week, we then again.
July. Okay, right. So thank you so much, Abhishek. It's indeed a very good practice for clubs to have such process in place. Abhishek is from Chennai Speakers Forum, one of the successful clubs of the district who've been achieving so many awards in the past. Abhishek is the president of Chennai Speakers Forum. And by the way, I just want to mention something here. Rahul did mention that TA recommends you to do the election in the month of November, isn't it? So there is a reason why TA recommends you to do the election in the month of November, so that by December, all the officers are ready. When I say ready, it also means they are well trained for their roles and responsibilities. Now, can you all guess when the Nominate Officers Training Program happens? The OTP, Club Officers Training Program. Can you tell me the months?
NVD.
Last Sunday of January.
Last Sunday of January.
NVD.
Only the last Sunday of January.
June last. June.
Sorry?
Or last Sunday of July.
June. Last Sunday of July. That means that nobody has ever gone to a district website and seen the event calendar over there. You would notice this year in particular, our program quality team came up with this beautiful program. They have kept 2 officers training program in the month of December. If you notice, I think if I'm not wrong, the dates are December 19 and 20. Lloyd, can you confirm on that?
Yes, Praveen.
Yes, right. Thank you so much, Lloyd. So this shows that nobody actually goes to the district website. Anyway, I'll pass on this message to a poor PR manager, Jayan Narayanan. I'll tell him the kind of feedback that I got out of this session anyway. But please go to the website once in a while, because a lot of information is put up there, especially this particular information, which is a one of a kind this year. We have been planning to conduct our officers training program the last week of December. This is the first time we are trying to do that, because the idea is we want the clubs to finish their elections in the month of November, so that the officers are ready in the month of December. By January 1st onwards, they will be in action. I think that is the right approach. That is why even TA recommends to have your election in the month of November. But what happens is most of the time we conduct the elections in December. We train our officers in the last week of January, like Jay was saying, Jay from Madras Toastmasters Club is the president of Madras Toastmasters Club. So like Jay was saying, we can conduct the training program the last week of January. And by the time he finishes the transition in February, we will be left with March, April, May, June. And within 4 months, he will not be able to achieve a lot. So that's why this year we were very particular, like how the district officer go through a transition. Our election happens in the month of May. I think you all would be participating in that election, district officer election, where we have the election May. In June, we finish the district officers training program. By July, we all will be ready to serve our members. When that is the case for district officer, I think as a club, we should also go through this transition phase. So this year, please capitalize on that. In fact, Rahul conducted a very detailed presentation on conducting club officer election. Please follow them and see if all of you can complete the election in the month of November. If that is the case, I think we'll have many participation for the officer training program in December, and all your clubs will be ready to serve your members from January onwards. When I say you will be ready, the new incoming officer team will be ready. I think that's the culture we should be building henceforth. So similarly, the next year you will see OTP happening the month of June itself. That is also we are trying to do. If you look at the calendar, let me check whether we have yeah. If you look at June 2021, on last weekend of June 2021, we still have OTP being planned. So please go through the calendar. You will know how the district planning is happening. So you can plan your club office election accordingly. So that's one thing which I want to mention. Now, Abhishek did talk about the process involved, right? That is the second step. The first and foremost step is the mindset. All of us should be having the very positive mindset, especially the incoming officer as well as the outgoing officer. The outgoing officer should always think the incoming team should perform better than the current team. When we have such kind of mindset, I think nothing will stop in terms of the knowledge transfer or taking the club to the next level. Only then things will happen. Otherwise, we'll be ending up in reinventing the wheel. Now, Abhishek did mention about few documents. Do you have anything else, any other practice in any other club that you do for transition? How do I know that my previous team did not complete certain activities, or no? How do I know which are the activities I should continue from the previous team?
Club success plan.
Exactly. Because Manju was the past area director, she was able to tell us this. I was expecting this to be heard from a club officer. District has a district success plan. The idea of district success plan is we sit with the previous success plan, see what went right, what did not go well for us, what is that we have to continue. Similarly, for transition to happen in a very successful manner, the one document that we all should depend on is a club success plan. While there may be many documents, but the club success plan is one of the most important document. Sit with the club success plan with your outgoing officer, and the incoming officer should be there and discuss what went right, what are the activities that you need to continue in this term. Now that leads to the second letter C. C refers to the calendar and the checklist, which are the most important thing in a transition phase. Most often I personally hear this, I know other district officers too hear this. The incoming president say, I don't get the support from the past president, or the past president say, whenever I'm trying to reach out the incoming president, he or she is not responding to me properly. So always have process in place. That's when the calendar comes into picture. Every club create a calendar. Okay, so and so date there will be transition between the VPEs. So on the day there will be transition between VP membership or the president or the entire ExCom. The new ExCom should go through this process on a particular date in the calendar. That is very important. If you have not done that process, it is very easy to have everything in mind, like, okay, term is ended, we have new election conducted, election, the officers are being elected, let us go through a transition. Instead of that, put it in paper, put it in a document for a club, and even have that discussed in the annual your club business meeting. Say every last month of the term, let us say on December, we'll have a transition on so and so day. It is the responsibility of the outgoing officers and the incoming officers to be part of the transition phase, where they have to exchange the thoughts, exchange the ideas, also exchange the work that was done. So that is where the calendar comes into picture. And then comes the your checklist, which is the most easiest way to ensure everything is in place. Most often the sergeant at arms kit is passed on to the next sergeant at arms. That is the only role where they have a checklist and ensure, oh, there is a gavel, there's a timer card, this. But other roles, we don't have the checklist generally being practiced. But my suggestion and my recommendation is every role there should be a checklist. Be it president role, be it VP education, membership, public relations, secretary, treasurer, and the sergeant at arms role. Every role there should be a checklist where the incoming officers should sit closely with the outgoing officer and just discuss all the checklist items. And this checklist item, there's no template given by Toastmasters International. While there is a template given for the district officer, I urge the clubs to create your own template. Each club will have their own practice. Clubs is always considered a separate entity by Toastmasters International. So you create your own checklist, and once you come up with a checklist, share it with your area director and other clubs so that they can work on top of the checklist. So always have this collaborative style across the district. Don't think it is all your club, my club. No, everyone is part of this wonderful organization. In fact, people say Toastmasters is all about communication leadership. To me, I see it's more than a communication leadership forum. It's a place where we form a beautiful community. I've known Rahul for many years. I know other officers here for many years. For me, more than the leadership and communication, I come here because I get to meet good friends like Rahul and others, and we form a strong community here. I think that is how the organization will thrive. More than the leadership and communication skill, it is a community which we are creating here. Now, Tamil Nadu itself is a district. So have this collaborative style. Once you're done with a checklist, pass it on to the other clubs. I know VP education, all the VP heads have a separate group. VP membership have a separate group. Share those checklists in the group so that others can learn on top of that, right? So checklist is very important. And the final part is the approachability. MCA, M refers to the mindset. Have a very positive mindset that you have to help the incoming team to be more successful in near term. Second is the checklist and the calendar. The final thing is approachability. I'll tell you why approachability is difficult and why it's so important. This is one area I constantly come across, or the district officer we come across, that the outgoing president says this, or the outgoing VP or any outgoing officer say, I know the incoming team is doing some kind of, issue or some kind of mistakes, which I can actually help them solve that, but they're not approachable. They think they own everything in the club. Never have such mindset. Or the other way around. If you're an outgoing officer, you should also be very approachable. If you're not approachable, tell you what, the incoming team will suffer a lot. The success of your term will not be seen in the present term. Take this for in writing. The success of your term will only be seen in the following term. If the following term is successful, it is because of the previous team has said things right. And if you want to prove that your team was successful, then show how the next team comes into picture has a very successful tenure. So if you're an outgoing officer, always, no matter what conflict you have between your officers, always be approachable. At least make it a process. Even you should be approachable in our email communication or something. Make it formal. If you're having some kind of conflict, make sure you're approachable, because any new officer come in, they'll be in a position where they will not know everything on their own. We don't have 1 year or 2 years or 3 years to learn a role. We only have 6 months, as most of our clubs are half-yearly clubs. All of us serve the role only for 6 months. We have some clubs in Trichy. We have Trichy Toastmasters. They serve, the officers serve for 1 long year. But look at the semi-annual clubs. You start your term in the month of January. You get trained in by January end. By the February, try to understand things. By then, half the tenure is over. So that is why I'm saying the outgoing officer and the incoming officer should be very approachable, and only then we can make this transition successful. There might be a lot of processes that you can bring in, like Abhishek said, we have this process, we have checklist, but more than this process and checklist, only we have the mindset in our clubs that the future should be more, it should progress in much better way than the current term. That is when the transition will happen. Otherwise, no matter how many checklists I provide you or the district provide you, the transition will always be a difficult phase. Now, to test how far the transition is happening, ask yourself how many past presidents your club has. I always tell this, if you want to know a quality club, go and ask the club how many charter members your club has. How many past presidents still attend the meetings regularly. That will tell you how quality your club meetings are, how quality the culture is, how quality the leadership in your club is, because that will tell you exactly how it is. You might say, no, our past presidents are not reachable. They don't even when I invite them to a milestone meeting, still they refuse to come. Ask yourself, it is not just by sending invitation you can bring them back. Make them part of your team. Make them your 8th member in your team. Don't treat them as not a non-ExCom member. Even they are part of your ExCom team. You have to work with the immediate past president. When you do that, no immediate past president will leave the club. And even after 3-4 years, you still go and reach out to your past president or past of the club officer. They'll be more than happy to support you. When that bonding is created, you will be retaining your past district or club officers in your club. And when those club officers are being retained, nothing can stop in terms of any challenges that your club will face. Be it membership challenge, be it education-wise challenge, be it any mentorship problems in your club. when you have your past members in your club, that is the biggest asset that you can ask for, right? With that note, I'll open the floor for questions. Any challenges in particular that you faced during the transition phase, you can share it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask, and I can answer that.
May I request our guests to please ask any question?
Has anyone gone through any challenges in terms of transition? If you're thinking the person who had a conflict with is also in the meeting, that's still okay. You can just refer to so and so things happen in one club that I know. That's how we all refer. So if you want to do that, you can do that. Or otherwise, if you feel any support that is required from the district, feel free to ask. We are more than happy to help you out in this regard.
Praveen, sometimes it happens that just for the sake of, they don't know what they're getting into. Sometimes they just say, okay, I'll be president or PPA, and they just take it on. And we see sometimes that once we try giving them KT, they're like, okay, this is too much. I don't want
Right.
to do this. So is there a way the nomination committee can, brief them on the roles and responsibilities in a clear manner and guide them with the process?
That's a very good point, Manju. In fact, even I can ask Rahul to also include that part of his presentation, which he said. And I think he's mentioned the link as well. It is good for the nomination committee to send across the roles and responsibilities along while calling out the nomination. I think most of the clubs do that. That's why even TA recommends every club should conduct election. Election is not an option at all in Toastmasters International. Sometimes the club will put some names and upload the club offs. That is not acceptable at all. TA clearly says every club should conduct election. You select people, the problem what you mentioned will come. I know most of the challenge, we come across clubs which go and select the officers. That is when the challenge comes. They say, you asked me to take up this role, so I took this role. I can't do this, what you're asking. You do it on my behalf. We have come across a situation. So make sure you conduct election. Make sure people participate in the election and go and take this role. And those people who go through this election process, I always see them more dedicated in the roles that they sign up for. Yeah. Right. Any other questions, or we can wrap it up?
Hi, Praveen. Ati.
Yeah, hi, Ati.
Should we have the club officer installation immediately after the election this time, or can it be in the the second week of December?
Installation, I think it'd be better to have on the first day of the new term, because you don't have to give a message or something that the previous term is over. You just let the term, the officer are in position till the end of December 31st, right? So let them continue with the term. You start the installation on the January 1st or maybe the last weekend of December. There's no need to rush the installation, but the rest of things can happen well in advance. Your elections, your transition, all the things should happen well in advance.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Ati. Right.
I would like to tell our guests that we have shared the feedback link for both our speakers. Please go to the chat box and see the link for individual speakers and kindly fill it up, submit. Thank you. Any other questions?
Nita, thank you so much. We can wrap up the session. In fact, this is my humble request. Transition, if we have a successful transition in all the clubs, that shows as a district we have been going to the next level. It is not just about conducting elections. It's not just about electing the new set of officers, but how far the old team is supporting the incoming team, how far the incoming team is planning for the future. That will tell us where the district is heading towards. So this is a request from the district director himself that please go out and make sure you have a successful transition this term, because that will determine not only your club success, not district success, but your leadership success depends upon this. If you are a person who focuses on transition a lot, I'm sure you'll be a great leader in the coming days. That is given in writing. Most leaders across that I've come across, the extraordinary leaders, they always ensure that the incoming team is more successful than what they have done in their term. So focus on the incoming team more, help them out to have a smooth transition. Whatever difficulty you had, it doesn't mean that the incoming team should also go through that. If I had gone through some sort of difficulty, the incoming team should not have such difficulties at all. In fact, this is one trait we learn from our parents as well, right? I mean, our parents, whatever challenges they've gone through, they always ensure that transfer all the knowledge to us and say, you build a better future for yourself. I think that is the role of a leader here as well. We all get this responsibilities at home where mom comes, go and learn something from dad. He knows everything. Please learn. It's your time to take up responsibility. Let us play that role as a leader. Let us ensure the incoming team gets all the knowledge that we have gained and the knowledge base is retained to the next team so that we can build on top of that. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Back to Nandita. Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen, so much. What we just witnessed was not only humility and concern for your fellow Toastmasters on your part, but also qualities like humor and inclusion. We are very much thankful for you to come and share with us how important incoming and outgoing teams are for a smooth transition and for a club's success in coming times. With that,